welcome back to another episode of the It's Just Different podcast, man. And before you get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And tell a friend to subscribe to this channel, man. So, check this out. Last night, the Clippers finally decided to get back into the series. Now, sounds funny, right? Because they've been down 0-2 in every series in the playoffs. Now, a person like me looks at that and says, man, you cannot keep doing that and just expect to somehow win a series. I don't know if I picked them in 5 or 6, but I got the Suns winning this series anyway. But it's pretty clear to me that the only way the Clippers have a chance of winning this series is if the referees let them play physical playoff basketball, 90s style playoff basketball. And you can tell by the way Patrick Beverley has been defending Devin Booker. And while I'm on the subject of Devin Booker, him and CP3, 10 of 40 from the field. Like, I am sorry, but there's no way in hell that's going to happen again. So you better have won the game where they shot that bad, because if you ask me, I'm a shooter myself, but I've never had a mask on my face, so I don't know how that feels. For the first time ever having to breathe through it, sweating with it on, and all that other crap. I don't know how that feels, but I am not going to just dismiss the fact that Patrick Beverley played excellent defense, but I do believe that part of the reason Devin Booker wasn't as efficient at all was because he had the mask on. But also, Devin Booker was rushed a lot. Like, I've played basketball since I was like 5 years old, and I've played against people who are like a Patrick Beverley. They annoy you. They'll do whatever they can to defend you, and those are the worst people I've ever had trouble with going against, because they just pest you. They get on your nerves. They are in you all, and they do things, especially when the referee lets them get with being physical. When you do get some space, it's a little bit of freedom when you have the ball, you tend to rush what you're trying to do. And that's what I've seen Devin Booker doing yesterday. A lot of times he would get to the lane, and instead of just having just his smooth game, he's very, very pinpoint, like Kawhi Leonard, mid-range. So he wasn't like that last night. He was getting to the lane, and he was looking to pass, and he was looking to see a defender when he got to the mid-range. And a lot of times it was like, stop looking for the alley-oop to Aiden. If you just shoot the jumper, it's there. And stop worrying about. See, what happens about physical play is you start feeling somebody that's not there. He would get past the defender, get to the mid-range, and he's expecting to feel Patrick Beverley or Terrence Mann or whoever was guarding him, and he was in his head, he was worrying. It was speeding up his clock in his head, which I felt most of the game kept happening. So as I'm watching the game, I just knew, like, you just knew the Clippers was going to win that game. It was like he had no rhythm to his game yesterday. CP3, I could have, you expect that. The dude did no basketball activities the entire time he was away. So I would expect him to be rusty. Look, man. CP3 is going to be back to being himself tomorrow night. I do not doubt that for one fucking second. He is going to be back to himself. Devin Booker, it's been 2 games of struggles. So hopefully, and I know he's a student of Kobe the Black Mamba. So I know he's going to watch film and try to figure out, okay, what am I doing wrong, and where can I get my shots at? He can always get the mid-range going. Always get the mid-range going. I feel like if he looks to just score instead of looking for the foul, he'll be a lot better. I also expect him to shoot a little bit more 3-pointers in the next game, because when he comes off picks, he's not really it's not the same. He gets a little airspace. They give him a little airspace. So, so you gotta let the defense. You gotta let the defense dictate what you're gonna do, man. Make them pay. If they're gonna give you space, just pull up. Don't think about it. Pull up. It was like Michael. What's the guy's name? Michael. I forgot his last name. But number 25 on the Suns. He passed up a three, and you can hear Mark Jackson talking about it in the commentary saying, "Hey, Monty Williams is yelling at him. Yeah, they scored on that possession because he passed to I think he passed it to Booker who hit a shot. But it's like you got to take that shot. So the very next possession, they got it to him in the corner. Instead of hesitating, thinking he just pulled up and made the three. So I feel like Phoenix, they played slow, and that allowed the Clippers to set their defense. And also, got to give up to Zubac. He had a double-double in the first half, which kind of ignited that physical play of the Clippers. But look, last night was a good game, man. It didn't really get out of hand until that barrage of threes the Clippers tend to do every now and again. But, hey, man, you got to give it up to them. 2-1. They're in the series. I don't expect them to win another game in this series, to be quite honest with you guys. I expect Devin Booker to go crazy in the next game, and I expect a 24, 25, 14 assist game from Chris Paul tomorrow night. And DeAndre Ayton, he just didn't have the same type of impact on offense as he did in the first two games of the series, and I expect that to change. They've been the most complete team in basketball all season, so I don't see how all of a sudden they have a blip in the radar and they just totally forget how to play basketball. But hey, you never know. But I have no doubt in my mind they will win this series without Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. That's just too big of a loss for them to win this series. So I'm going to stick with. You know what? I'm going to stick with the Suns in 5 and leave it at that. But tonight we have Game 2 the Hawks versus the Bucks. And before that game actually started, I'm not going to go through my Facebook, my personal page timeline, and find the post I made. But before that game, I had made a prediction. I put Bucks in 4. Obviously, I'm wrong about that. I just looked at it like this, man. The Bucks are just way better than the Hawks. They're just way better than the Hawks. But I also got to understand that the Miami Heat, my Miami Heat, were a team that was playing great basketball at the perfect time, which is why we eliminated the Bucks last year. You have a good defensive scheme against Giannis, and then you are in sync on offense as a team, and I feel like that's what the Hawks are. They didn't have a great plan for Giannis. Giannis was Giannis. He actually was very efficient from the free throw line too. It was Chris Middleton who decided to do Chris Middleton things. Now, if you ever watched the Bucks playoff series in the last 3 years, Chris Middleton has 2 games a series where it looks like he's never played basketball before. Like, he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. He looks very timid, very like spaced out or whatever the hell it is. But I don't understand, which is why I really get annoyed at people calling him a pretty good player. He's okay. In my eyes, he's okay. Like, I mean, it is what it is. But a really good player would not go through the lapses that he does in games. He's not a small dude. He can handle the ball, but what he tends to do, like the Bucks do, which if you watch Undisputed, Shannon Sharpe and Skip, Shannon Sharpe's been on this since the last series. They're big. The Bucks are big. Milwaukee they're huge. You got Brook Lopez, you got Giannis, you got Middleton, you got even Holiday who can get in the lane when they want to, and for some reason they tend to shoot a lot of threes and miss them. Now this is what pisses me off about the fact that they're missing threes. Okay, against my Miami Heat in the first round, they didn't miss of any. They were pretty much hitting every damn three imaginable, but against the Nets and against the Hawks, same shots, wide open threes, won't make them. It is. It is what it is. I understand my Miami Heat, we weren't that good of a team this year. I get it. But that just pisses me off when I see them miss wide open three after wide open three. And Pat Connaughton, somebody please tell this guy, stop floating your 3-point shot when you let it go. Your shot has no arch to it whatsoever. The ball comes up and comes back down, and he shot that late game three, and when he let it go, I said air ball. Watching the game, I am a shooter, guys. I give buckets from the 3-point line. I can shoot the damn basketball. I know when a shooter is about to miss or make one. He had all arm in that shot, and the ball just went up and didn't even hit the damn basket. It went to the left or some shit. Whatever it was a bad damn. That was the worst person to give the damn 3-pointer to. Jrue Holiday showed up, man. I asked for him to show up after the Brooklyn series, and he did his damn thing. If one guy would have came to the party, now here's the deal. You got to do what Ty Lue's doing with the Clippers. You have to make lineup changes. Brook Lopez is not a good matchup in this series. He's too slow. He's too slow, too slow, too slow. So you have to play somebody else. Now, I am very wary of an adjustment coming because I don't like the Bucks coach. You know, by the way, I have not done it on my show, but I'm going to do it right now. I do not call that man by his name. I am not calling that man by his name until he shows me he can do 4 games in the series where he's out coaching the other team's coach. I just want 4 games where he's out coaching the other team. It seems like he literally does not. He's not an in-game adjusting person. You know what I'm saying? It's like he doesn't I don't know what his assistant coaches do or who they are, but this guy needs help. Okay? He really, really does need help. I don't like to disrespect people, but I call the man George Costanza. He's George Costanza from Seinfeld. If you ever watch Seinfeld, that's his name, George Costanza. And I am not calling him anything other than George Costanza until he has a great series of coaching. This guy, this is what pisses me off, okay? This is what pisses me off about a lot of coaches, okay? They like to stick with what they like to do. Now, he's a defensive coach, right? Jrue Holiday and whoever else is guarding Trae Young was not doing any type of physical play on him. He had so much airspace. He could either shoot the 3, he could either come off the pick and then get to the lane, and there was when he got to the lane, the defender in the paint was just bagging all the way up, so he was getting the floater. For a guy like Trae Young, man, who has a good floating game, that's just terrible defense. Now, if you want to stop a good offensive player or a great offensive player, make them work on defense. So here's what you do. It's common fucking sense. It's elementary basketball. What you do is you find out who's Trae Young guarding. Okay, you take that man and you make him give a pick and give the ball to Giannis, Middleton, Jrue Holiday, somebody, and you make him play defense on the switch. You get that switch and you make him play defense and you work him. What they were doing was whoever he was guarding it was PJ Tucker. It was Connaughton at times. They were just letting him. The Hawks were like, "Well, we're gonna let him give a break on. He's getting a break on defense," and the Bucks was just like, "We're gonna keep jacking up threes and missing a lot of them." Giannis himself gets 70%. He's 70% field goals percentage made in the paint, and he did everything he could in that game 1. But he needs somebody to come to the party other than just Jrue Holiday. Middleton, Forbes, we don't expect much from PJ Tucker. Brook Lopez. There was another guy who played great. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Real quick, guys. Let me look this up real quick because this guy's name is on the tip of my tongue, and I can't get his name. No. His name is on the tip of my tongue, and I can't. It's going to annoy me. It's going to annoy me. It's going to annoy me. Bobby Portis. Yes. Bobby Portis should start, if you ask me. Bobby Portis should play way more minutes in this series than Brook Lopez. He's the more physical guy. He's the more athletic guy, and he is the guy who's going to play with some intensity. You need a guy down there to give Giannis some help, even if it's just to be physical with the other guys. But look, man, you got to give it up to John Collins. He had a great game. Trae Young, 48. Those guys are young and play like fuck the playoffs, man. I'm here to stay. We here to ball, and I like that, man. I love that intensity. I love that passion. I love that confidence. But George Costanza, this is your time to adjust. Another thing, if you notice in the game down the stretch, he will call a timeout and they will come out for a play, and every time whatever play he drew up worked. It was like, oh, we're going to do X's and O's now instead of just rolling the ball out there and doing what the hell you want to do. Like, Giannis got a couple of alley-oops. Drew Holiday got a wide-open 3-on-1 play. You keep running sets. Just keep running sets. It's obvious that it's working. Keep running sets. Make Trae Young play defense. And this series should be dominant. I mean, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. So I guess I gotta adjust my my series pick because I can't say it's sweep because Milwaukee lost the first game. So I'm not a person that runs and hides. So listen, if it's not a sweep, it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. 4-1. Milwaukee should cruise to the NBA Finals. I mean, my God, man, you just got rid of Kevin Durant. What the hell? You just got rid of Kevin fucking Durant. Hello? But no, man, I got the Bucks tonight in a close one. I'm going to say it's close. And, yeah, man, I'll see you guys next time for the next podcast. Y'all have a great weekend, man. Peace.